Hello Forex traders, this is your boys back here, and in today's video guys, we are going to expose. All right, when I say expose, I mean we are going to dissect, okay, or break down Joovier Gems strategy that he calls squeeze. I'll reveal something interesting to you all along the line as we watch the video. Okay, I will tell you what really is that strategy that he has coined the name for it as squeeze. Okay, as he has coined that name for that strategy. Okay, now why is this video so important to you watching this video? Okay, so probably if you click on this video and you're here, that means you are looking for a Forex strategy. But guys, I have to be honest with you, and as you guys too probably might have seen on the internet, that when you go on YouTube, there is a plethora of Forex trading strategy. Every year, people coming out with new Forex strategy. I remember I watched an interview from the guy, Lucky Mane. Okay, he's a Forex trader in Nigeria. He's called Lucky Mane. And Lucky Mane was like, man, when I started trading, man, I ended up on this guy's channel who was every day producing a new Forex trading strategy. So think of it. How are you ever going to grow? And at the end of the day, you will end up asking yourself the question, so which one of these strategies that this guy is explaining am I supposed to go with? Okay, so that is why this video is important, because in this video, I'm going to break down to you all the important strategies that I see on YouTube. All right, not just in this video. In the different segments that I'll be doing on the channel, I'll be breaking down to you guys which one of these strategies is good. I'll be showing you the entry, the exit, the winning logic behind it, the risk management in that strategy. And at the end of the day, I will let you know whether it is a strategy that can help you as a beginner or not. Then, depending on your time factor, which is something that most of the time it is untalked about. And it's very, very important. Do you guys understand me? The time that you have at your disposition. Are you a medical doctor? Are you a pilot? Are you a student? Do you understand me? So we will talk about these things. So guys, if you're excited about this video, stick through with me, because this strategy in particular is an interesting one. Okay, so having said that, let's just jump right straight into the video. Okay, so guys, what I will be doing is I won't be playing throughout the whole video. That, you know, we'll be watching everything bit by bit. We won't be doing that. All right, I will put the link of the video in the description. Okay, so you can go and watch the whole video. Okay, my job here is to break the video down to you, show you where the entry is, so that every time you're practicing it, you know that this is what first I need to see. Secondly, this is where I need to enter. Thirdly, this is where I need to exit. And fourth thing is, this is the science behind the whole strategy. Then adopt a proper risk management to it. Okay, so without further ado, I will take you guys to where the entry is. As a matter of fact, he started with Joovier Gems, started with the winning logic. All right, so this video is going to start with the winning logic, and throughout the whole video, the winning logic behind the strategy is distributed throughout the whole video. So when you're watching the video, you may want to pay attention in between the lines. All right, so another thing that I will say is it is very, very clear as a strategy. That is what I like about it. It is very, very clear. But I won't spit out too many things. Let's go into the strategy. We will start off with where he starts with the winning logic, the science behind, or the rules of engagement to this strategy. Okay, let's just go into the video.
Completely aware of it. Number one, you do not not need a huge amount of money. You don't need a lot of money at all. This strategy works great with small accounts as well as large accounts. So you don't need to have a ton of money saved up to use this strategy. Myth number 2 is that you need a lot of time with this strategy. That's incorrect.
And that would be for beginner traders, all right? So
you don't need a lot of time at all when it comes to the strategy. Once you've practiced this and backtested this enough, you can set up your charts within 5 minutes and walk away after that. So literally, you can have a 5-minute workday and be able to generate thousands of dollars in a very, very simple and systematic way.
And I think for that part, I think it's something that will come with experience. So when you're doing it, start on the demo accounts first, all right? Practice it, get mastery, then you will get to that point he's talking about.
Is that you need to be super advanced or have been trading for years to understand the strategy. That's not the case. This strategy is absolutely amazing for beginners. I've taught this to a lot of people who just started trading a couple weeks ago, and now they're able to put it into work.
And it's true. It's true, because I'm going to show you the strategy. We will see the strategy, and you guys will know that indeed it is, all right? So let's go.
So now that we have that out the way, let's hop into the strategy that could drastically change your trading and generate you an insane amount of profits. All right, so here we are on the charts. Keep in mind, I didn't say this inside of the myth busting, but this strategy will literally work on any pair. I'm talking about gold, NAS 100, stocks, crypto, Forex, futures, it does not matter. This strategy, if you see this pattern and you wait for the pattern and you wait for every single thing that I talk about in this video to show itself and you enter at the right time, will work on any pair in any single exchange that you want to trade. But
that's a pro. That's a pro. On one side, it's a pro. On the other hand, for beginners, I don't think it's that much of a pro thing, because you know it will be too much of distraction. You understand me? It's a good thing that you can trade on multiple assets. That means if you don't see the setup on one currency pair or on one asset, you can move on a different asset and maybe find it on the different assets. But the problem here is, one, it will become time consuming, all right? Because you will need time to scan through all the markets. And the other thing is that it will take your attention. It won't help you to focus on one pair and master it, all right? I will leave that for another time. Let's go on.
This strategy is what I like to call the squeeze strategy. It is a breakout strategy that has a lot of volume.
The name of the strategy is called squeeze strategy.
Allows you to catch huge moves within a short amount of time, and it doesn't rely on you sitting here and looking at your charts 24/7. So let's hop into this and go over exactly what this setup looks like, what you need to wait for, when you should enter, when you should exit, when to dive into every single aspect of this strategy. But first, let's show you guys exactly what this strategy looks like. The squeeze strategy is all
that is a good premise, all right? That's a good like prelude into the video. Do you understand me? He already told us from the start. Now, that's one thing I like about Joovier Gems, all right? Joovier Gems is very, very articulate. He's very, very clear when he's addressing to his audience. And that's a good thing. Do you understand me? You want someone who can explain things to you in a clear manner, all right? And I like that thing about Joovier Gems, all right? So big shout out to you, Joovier Gems. Okay, so guys, at this point, he begins to explain the strategy, okay? So you can follow through it so that you can see the strategy, the logic behind the strategy, okay? Now, guys, I will take you to the entry of the strategy, okay? So let's start watching from here, all right?
Recent swing low. And all we're doing, we're not hopping in the trade when price breaks above this trend line. We're not hopping in right when it pops out of our trend line. We want extra confirmation, and we don't want to have a lot of drawdown. We want to make sure that we're actually having a huge breakout to the upside.
Now, all that he's talking about in this area is like a pre-workout, like a pre-warm-up. You understand me? To enter. You see? So that few minutes before we get to minute 5:43 seconds is very, very important. You watch that, all right? Now he will talk about the entry.
We want to see price not just break out of our trend line, but also break above that recent swing high, or if we're looking for sales, break below that recent swing low. So we look for an entry, and we're entering as soon as price.
That's the word, entry. And that's what he's showing. So that is where we enter into the market, all right? For this strategy, for this setup, I want you guys to put that in your mind, setup, all right? That is where we enter into the market. Now let's move on. Let's go to the exit, all right?
As price breaks above the highest point that price rejected off of our trend line most recently. So in this instance, we'd be hopping in as soon as price breaks above this red line right here. Stops is, I'll go down to the 1 minute time frame.
Stops, okay? whether you are being hit, your stop loss is being hit or your take profit is being hit, they are all exits, because when the stop loss is being hit, it takes you out of the market, right? Good. So it's an exit. When your take profit is being hit, it takes you out of the market, right? So it's an exit. Okay. So here we are with the exits.
5-minute time frame to see exactly where there's a swing low or a swing high recently.
Okay.
And I'll put my stops below there.
So the lost exit is being talked
So
about.
I'm having multiple different take profit levels with this strategy. And most of the time they're aligned with the trend line. So for instance, this would be TP1. This would be TP2.
Okay.
I'd have another TP up here probably. We're just
Good. So this is how you demarcate your exits. All right. Very, very important what he said about the stop loss exit. You need to go down in the time frame. Okay. Now, one thing that Joovier Gems didn't say about this strategy is in which time frame do we look for this setup. All right. Now, because he didn't say it, I assume that any time frame will be okay, starting from the 15 minutes above up to maximum of 1 hour, 4 hour time frame. All right, because it's supposed to be a daily a day trading strategy. Do you understand me? So I assume just 1 hour, it's even okay. So from 15 minutes to 1 hour, that is where you want to see the setup, okay, on each asset that you will pull out. Okay, so if we look at his chart, we can see that he has 15 minutes. He has it on 15 minutes. All right, you guys can see here. Okay, so I assume that you want to see the setup on 15 minutes, between 15 minutes to 1 hour. Okay, or just stick to 15 minutes now that we've seen it here. All right, good.
Swing highs and recent swing lows if we're looking for.
Now, something that I want to talk about here is the strategy. He calls it squeeze, but in reality, if you look at it and you know chart patterns, this is a symmetric triangle. All right, or no matter how you want to see it. Okay, so this is a symmetric triangle, which is a chart pattern. We have 3 types of triangles patterns. Okay, in the Forex market, we have the descending triangle, we have the ascending triangle, and we have the symmetric triangle. Okay, so his strategy was based on the symmetric triangle. That is why you can aim for either the buys or either the sells when market breaks out of one of these directions. All right, and when you study chart patterns, that is what it says, that when market breaks out of when you study the symmetric triangle, the way it works, it tells you that market can break out of either of the directions, okay, either top or down. All right, so that is something to keep in mind.
Line with the trend line. So for instance, this would be TP1.
So we've seen our exits, right? So let's go to the risk management, okay? He tapped just a little bit on risk management, all right? So,
and you're going to want to make sure that you're not over leveraging on these trades. If you over leverage on these trades and you risk too much because you get overly confident, you're going to end up not seeing success with this strategy, because this strategy can have an 80% win rate. But if every time you lose, you're losing 10 times as much as you win, you're not going to be profitable. But now that we have this out the way, let's jump into some real examples so you guys can see it on actual candlesticks and actual trades that all right, so here.
Okay, so that means you don't have to over leverage, all right? So every time I would say that keep in proportion a good risk to reward, okay? So you see where you see good. You see where your stop loss is, where I have my mouse is. Make sure that your stop loss every time when you go down to the smaller time frame, your stop loss where you will be putting it, all right, let it be above a structure. And when I talk about a structure, I mean something like this, all right? Then your take profits should be either 1:1 or 1:2 or whatever areas these guys are, all right? But it should be always bigger than how much you are risking, all right? So guys, I think pretty much we've seen the 4 points, okay? And at the end of the video, if you skip through it, you will see that, not skip through it. If you watch through it from this minute, after he explained, after the 8 minutes forward, okay, you can see that he will give you a real life example about how the strategy, not about how the strategy works, but a real life example whereby he himself took a trade with this thing or with this setup that he showed us. All right. So guys, this is where I'll bring the end of this video. Okay. Now, before I end this video, okay, I want to talk about some few things. I want to talk about, is it good for a beginner? Okay. I'll give you my rating. Okay. Then, before I give you my rating, I want to talk about some few things that I observe about the strategy, okay, or my reservations about the strategy. Then at the end, you guys too will give me in the comment section what you think about the strategy and your ratings to the strategy, okay? So my point of view about the strategy is it's dope, it's clear, and it is not destructive. It is not also hard to identify, okay? Meaning you have to see a symmetric triangle. So if you are seeing the ascending, okay, the ascending triangle, which I'll put the picture there, or the descending triangle, that means it's not the setup, okay? So you can't get it twisted, okay? Or if you are seeing the witched pendant, you know that it's not that is not a setup, okay? So it's very, very clear, okay? So there's a lot of pros in Joovier's strategy, okay? The explanation too was very, very clear to the T, okay? So I did appreciate that from Joovier, okay? Now, as to, is it for a beginner? My answer is yes. To me, a beginner trader can practice this strategy. And if you're a beginner, I will highly recommend that you stick to this strategy, okay? Now, another thing that we want to talk about too is, okay, before I move to the time, okay, your time you have at your disposal, let me first talk also about, is it good for intermediary traders and advanced traders as well? Sure. Yeah. Okay. So my focus was to see if the strategy was good for beginners, and I can certify that yes, it is good for beginners. One, because of its simplicity. Two, because you can't get it confused. It is well explained to it. All that you need, it is well explained. All that you need at this point is to add a proper risk management to it, and you are done. And he did explain, and I did add a little bit of ink to his explanation, all right, in terms of risk to reward, okay? So the amount you are risking shouldn't be bigger than how much you are going to receive as a reward. All right, good. Now let's talk about the time factor. Okay, so I don't recommend this strategy for someone who is maybe, let's say, a lawyer, practitioner, or a legal practitioner, or a doctor or something of that sort, or maybe a pilot. These things are important because I think pilots, or if you do maybe one of these important jobs, I think you can still be a trader. But this trading in the 15 minutes time frame is not good for you. Why? Because you can see these setups create up within the time frame, let's say even within a space of 3 hours, 2 hours, or within 4 hours max. You can see these structures being created. You understand me? So why? Because it is on the 15 minutes time frame, you see. So that is why I'm not saying that you can trade it as a doctor, but then because it is on the 15 minutes time frame, the moment you enter in, you will have to give attention to it, meaning you will have to stick behind, monitor it. And if you're a doctor and you are in the operating room, or you are in the operation room, or you are a lawyer and you are in the court, how can you be monitoring your trade? Do you get me? If you're a student and you have time, you can do it. All right. So I think in terms of the time frame, it is clear. If you're a lawyer, or if you have a busy schedule, let me put it in that way, and you want to practice this strategy, then take it to the 1 hour or to the 4 hours max. All right. Because truth of the matter is, guys, whatever thing you can see in the smaller time frame, you can also see it in the higher time frames. Okay. So guys, this is where I bring my reservations to, okay? And as in rating, guys, I will give it a 9, all right? Yes, I'll give it a 9 because Joovier touched on each part of the yardstick, okay? The 5th part of the yardstick is you sticking to the strategy, okay? Stickability. You sticking to the strategy, test it for months, all right? Not just for 1 month, but test it for 6 months minimum, all right? Anywhere from, let's say, 4 to 6 months as minimum is okay, all right, guys? Now, I want to know about your opinion, guys, in the comment section. So let me know how much you guys will rate this strategy, okay? And let me know your opinion about this strategy in general, about the way Joovier explains the strategy and all this kind of thing. Was it clear? Was it not clear? Or there are some areas that you have some lopsidedness. There are some areas that maybe it is not that clear. You have some imbalance in mind. Certain things are not clear to you. Let me know and I'll come through and I'll help you out. All right, guys. Having said that, I go by the name Zbak and I'm going to see you in the next video.